Okay. So what is the proof that we have a transcendent spirit? Is it simply imagination, fantasy, or what hallucinations? Like many intellectuals, even many scientists also think that way. But why? Why some people don't and you see this thing. So let us try to. I'm going to outline. There are so many proofs are there. Two very basic proofs which all of us experience. One is the everyday experience of waking, dreaming, and sleeping. So and normally during dream, so what is the dream? Dream basically occurs in the astral plane generally. And what is a dream? Is there are three states of we have. We have a subconscious state, normal consciousness, and that super consciousness. So it's like in a house we have a living room, we have a basement, and we have a rooftop. And in superconscious state, you know more about the world. Okay. So now I think what is the subconscious state? Subconscious state is the simply a accumulation of previous memories, mostly in this life as well as previous life. They are stored. And in addition to this, we have so much of fantasies, expectations, projection, fears for the future. So what it does, it makes permutations, combinations, and then creates images that we call as dream states. But they appear to be very real during the time of dream. Sometimes dream states are difficult to interpret, but if your mind is pure, you will have prophetic dreams. You will not get into those things later maybe. So they are simply projected. There was no tree, there was no man, no woman, no house in a dream, but they are simply projections of the mind, images. But at that time, they appear very real. We enjoy it and we suffer it. Some tiger is coming to kill me, I suffer and wake up, there is no such thing. Sometimes I enjoy in a dream, getting married, producing children, all this. Okay. But the thing is, that time I have a different body. Eh? That time I have a different body. I didn't have this body. I can I can enjoy a dream even being an insect or a worm or various any animal also. So there are things are there. Okay. So there is no body and the mind in deep sleep. What is a deep sleep state? There is no body or the mind. But then so normally people believe this is an absence of experience, but that's not correct. This is not absence of experience, but there is an experience. But this is an experience of absence. There is a difference or blankness. There is an experience, and then when you wake up from a nightmare or a dream, when you wake up from a deep sleep, you say, "I slept well in the night." But who says this? Your body was not there. Your mind was not there. Who says this? And it is actually that transcendent self has this feeling that says I slept in the night. You are a part and parcel of the transcendent self, infinite self, and this states right now you are watching this. But who is the watcher? That is the watcher. He is experiencing the watching through you. Mind this point. He is the perceiver. He is the perceiver. That entity is the perceiver, and that is pure consciousness. That is unbound and unchanging. It comes with experience. Unbound means infinity. There is no end to it. And unchanging. Everything in the material universe manifestation changes all the time, every moment. But that is the only entity that is unchanging. And that is and you are that. That is your true nature, which you have forgotten due to the influence of Maya. And we will understand, we will later come into the picture what is Maya, what is the illusions, and why it is so much deep rooted in most living things. And that is the reason why we need a spiritual journey inward journey towards our spiritual core and regain our best state, regain our original state, and that state is free from suffering and all these things. Okay, okay. Let me just go ahead. Next slide. Okay, I am giving one more example about the existence of transcendent self, different than it's a non-physical dimension in spiritual dimension. See, suppose there is some logic. Logic, everybody has to believe on logic. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Everybody has to agree, whether it is a theist, agnostic, doesn't matter. Similarly, I am telling some grounds of logic that is called theory of perception. See, all these things are necessary to understand to experience or to realize why meditation, going inward journey, is so much important for a personality transformation at all levels, including realizing the goals of life, the true purpose of life. What was called theory of perception, let us spend few minutes on this. My, and I can see an object, right? And I can see an object, but I cannot see itself. The object has to be different from the eye. Then only perception is possible, right? So similarly, think of you are seeing the hand or you are this body. So I am able to see this body. That means the entity that I says I am able to see this body has to be different from the body for the perception to occur. Otherwise, there will be no perception. So then what is the conclusion? So I am not this physical body. Then there is a possibility that I may be mind also, if not this physical body, but that is also ruled out by the next logic. What is a mind? A series of thoughts. What is a thought? Thought is always an image of something, a picture of something. Thoughts can happen, those pictures, different series of pictures, they create different series of thoughts. Okay? And those pictures, whatever I am thinking or imagining pictures, I can perceive itself inwardly, right? So because I am able to perceive, so the eye that perceives is different from the mind, is different from the images. That is what so this transcendent spirit is different from this body and different from the mind. So the true self has to be different from than the body and mind for perception to happen. Otherwise, I cannot perceive anything. So and that is the seer. This is the seen. That is the onlooker. This is onlook. So there exists a non-physical dimension called spiritual dimension, and that is the immovable. That entity is immovable. Everything that is movable is mind. Mind can perceive it. Everything that is movable can be a part of the mind. And what did I say yesterday? The mind, your mind and the world you experience, they are one and the same. Right? So everybody in the waking state also experiences a private world because of the karma. Karma acts as a reflecting medium. Right? Mark this point. So that is the immortal source of life, and that is Satchit Ananda. We'll come to this point later. Or Vedanta, all Indian philosophy talks about the Sat means it's eternally existing. Chit means it's consciousness, pure consciousness. Ananda means bliss, intense bliss. No worldly joy can. If you combine all worldly joys millions of times, that will be more bliss than this, and that is present 24 hours. But then you have to go to a beyond a threshold level to experience that Ananda. So this is characterized by Sat, Chit, Ananda. Pure, it's eternally existing, eternally conscious, and it is eternal bliss. So those intellectuals who deny the spiritual dimensions have generally unactivated higher chakras. When you discuss about the chakras in future, we will soon come to this point that the most living beings, the Muladhara chakra or Swadhisthana chakra, lower chakras are active, all the chakras are generally inactive. Some person may be intelligent when heart chakra is active or something, this thing. But their karmas are such a way is that they can never believe in a spiritual dimension because they call themselves as rationalists, thinkers. And they think the spiritual dimension is a superstition. But that is their problem. Their karmas are like that. But that is not the truth. Not this point. So people who deny this, their karmas are such a way that they may come in some other life or in later part of this life. That's a different thing. Okay. Then 13. As I wrote, as I had given in the earlier introduction, I will be combining the best ideas from 3 different schools of philosophy: Ashtavakra Gita, Buddhist philosophy, and Patanjali Yoga Sutra. And certain best insights, when they are combined, the spiritual growth will be rapid and progressively faster. That is what is the purpose of this. And Ashtavakra lived in King Janaka. He was the teacher of King Janaka. All of you know King Janaka. That is a Tritiya Yuga. Before Krishna's time, Lord Rama's time. So actually he teaches. This is called Ashtavakra Gita. He teaches King Janaka. King Janaka was a very very old man, but this Ashtavakra was a teenage boy. And he's teaching the supreme knowledge to King Janaka, and he's mystified King Janaka, and Janaka attained enlightenment. So, and in my first course, I had given Ashtavakra Gita in detail. I covered in 16 hours, 16 days, and that was very well received by many people. as then giving good feedbacks. Okay. So Ostapkar says you are already the true self, higher self, real self, inner self. You can tell various here and now, and that is the absolute reality. You must remember this truth continuously and act accordingly. See, even if one follows one particular tradition, he will reach the goal, but that is difficult. And I want to combine certain which is especially in the modern age because taking huh? What happened? Rajdeep Misra has raised a hand.
Sir, I had a question.
Ah,
So the Buddhists do not actually believe in a self or a transcendent spirit and still attain nirvana or enlightenment. My question was that does it mean that the self is just a concept which is not really needed?
wait, please wait 3 to 4 slides.
Sure, sure.
Exactly same point. My slide answers.
Okay,
Huh?
sir. Thank you.
Okay, have a patience because I am not come to these teachings. Huh? I can go only one by one. Huh? Please, thank you. That's a very interesting question. Thank you. Okay. Now the thing is that Ostapakar says that you are the absolute reality right now. See, all these spiritual thoughts, models, or steps to enlightenment are different depending on the time, the people, capacity of the people to understand various things. So, but at the experience level, they are all the same, but the methods may be different. And I'm going to synthesize a method that is just you can give your opinion later. It is open to you. So he said that is the octopus. So you just remember right now. What is remember? It's a kind of you have not experienced it, right? It's a you can imagine this right now, and just you can remember, and it will work on you in due course of time. And what is the few of the when you are remembering this, remember a few of the things. You are not the doer. Right now I am talking, but I am aware that I am not talking. A mysterious power makes me talking because the mysterious power makes my heart beat, makes my blood circulation, my digestion. I don't digest my food. I don't do my blood circulation. There are involuntary activities. Similarly, at a certain stage, the divine uses the body for a divine purpose, and that time the person knows that he is not talking. He's the witness of this talk. He's the witnessing intelligence. The talking goes on, but he's not the doer. So Ostapakara says that if you imagine you are not a doer, you don't have a body in reality, but in illusory perceptions. Like like a dream images are real as long as you wake up till you wake up, right? Similarly, when you wake up to your transcendent self, you will find that the waking state is it has same thing as similarity to the dream state. What is the dream state? That's a differentiations of consciousness, absolute consciousness, pure consciousness. And waking state is also differentiations of this because various objects appear. And what is the fundamental difference between these two? Raman Mahasi says there are two fundamental differences because waking state starts little longer and sorry stays longer and and in waking states things changes very slowly whereas in dream state the objects change very rapidly. Other than two, there is essentially no difference. There's exactly no difference. Raman Mahasi says, like I experience dream objects in the dream time. Similarly, in the waking state also, I see exactly the same things. But then you have to go to that state. This is a fantasy from a lower state of mind. You have to go to that state. Right? Okay, let us move. A mysterious power looks after the functioning of the mind, like the involuntary functions of the as I said to you. So you have no bondage. So the question of freedom doesn't arise. See, mark this point. He talks about some kind of operational enlightenment. You are not enlightened, but you can get a idea of operational enlightenment through understanding and faith. See, this is called liberation through understanding. If you want, if you have got this point, you are already free. You may come to bondage, but if you remember you are the absolute reality. You are the supreme consciousness, infinite self. Then your problems are solved. So solve your problems right now. At least solve at an operational level. That is solved. So this is called operational enlightenment. When the remembrance becomes continuous, you will experience a vast distance between your true self and the body mind. Right now, as you are listening to me, maybe most of them, you think that you are the mind and you are the body. That yourself is in the body and the mind. But if you ask a person who has not meditated for many years, he will see that there is a space, there is a distance between body, mind, and the true self. It is a question of experience, and the distance increases when you attain supreme enlightenment, ultimate state. That the distance becomes several kilometers or miles even than your body, because you see yourself as pervading over a long distances. Finally, you will experience you are unbound, infinite, unlimited. And because Vedanta says that there is only one meaning creation, and you are that. That he means by that absolute reality. So let us move. We can't spend more time on this. And there was okay. Now my next slide says. So so sorry. This is a picture of our beloved Ramana Maharshi. All of you must read the life of Ramana Maharshi. And right from the very teenage, he was already in that supreme state. He renounced the world at the age of 16, but he meditated for 21 years in a cave. He spoke very little, but he used to solve problems through silence. And his ways of teaching is very legendary. He never wrote piles of books or papers, books or the things. He spoke very little, but his most fundamental question will come to that point. He says a simple solution to the vast problem of existence. Just ask, who am I? If any thought comes to you, any problems come to you, just ask to whom the thoughts comes, to whom the problem comes. It will come to me. Ask them, who am I? And there is no answer to this question. Nobody can answer who am I, because anything that you can answer are within the mind, within the pairs of opposites. But that is goes beyond. It has to be experienced. That's why it is called transcendence. And there is no clear answer, but the mind will be absorbed at the source. So mind will dissolve, and your problems are unreal, because your problems, like the people having problems in a dream state, because dream state, waking states are equivalent. So problems in the waking state also they are unreal. And so there is a mysterious power. The problems you face in this world, your karma decides the kind of your prarabdha karma, a part of the karma allotted for this lifespan. It's called prarabdha karma. The two other karma, sanchit karma, agami karma, we'll discuss later. So that decides the experience you will work, kind of wealth you will enjoy, kind of spouse you get, children you get, kind of fame you get, kind of learned man you get, you become a sinner or a saint. All these things decides by karma. You will move from unreal to reality. So by the simple techniques, he wants to. So he rejected a complicated philosophy. You can write hundreds of books on philosophy, read books in the library, but you will be remain bondage in Maya as long as you don't practice the simple things. So many people use worldly body found this simple method very effective. It has been known. People came from America, Europe, they learn these lessons, and they solve many people problems through the simple method. And so what is basic teaching? Between the body, actually body is jara, inert, without pure consciousness, without the infinite self. The body is just jara. It's like a stone, wood. Even the mind also. Mind needs that power to function. This is between the body and pure consciousness. There emerges a fictitious entity called ego sense, which says, I am this body. Who says? Ego entity says. The mind says. Mind, ego, personality, they are synonymous terms. That says, I am this body. The Supreme Self doesn't say this. It is the fictitious, that's a phantom. Phantom means if you investigate, it will disappear. If you don't investigate, it will trouble you. If you search for its origin, and minds will get dissolved at the source. So the goal of spiritual practice is to eliminate this phantom called ego sense. The goal of spiritual practice is to eliminate this phantom and abide in the state of eternal witness of the transient phenomenon. Because the manifested universe is always changing, ever changing. Don't question its surrender. Nobody can understand the reality in action. It happens. It is a fact. If I ask you question why the manifested universe is ever changing, there is no easy answer. It is just changing. It's a fact. I mean, you have to accept it. But if you meditate, you will find your source, your true self doesn't change. That is the witness. So that is the eternal witness of the transient phenomena that we are trying to experience and realize. And I said this course will cover two things: spiritual success and material success. When you are going for inward journey, material success will come more and more, and they will be amplified if you are putting spiritual practice. I'll say this. But at the same time, I will be giving more emphasis reaching the spiritual goal of life, which is thousand times more deeper than your material success. I mean, you can be very famous person, a wealthy person, but still you will not find peace and contentment in life until you touch the your true nature, transcend the mind, transcendence. That's the whole idea. Okay, okay. Let me go to the next one. 15. Okay, and I am simply telling this. This is a different method for highest reality, and one should not conflict with the soul and God Dvaita philosophy, like Krishna's or Vishnu, all the things. See, that I am keeping in a separate domain right now. I do not want to comment on that. It is an independent path. To follow this path, you reach the goal. That is a different path, and if you can make comments later, but right now I have no conflict with the dualistic schools, other things, but basically I will be teaching Advaita Vedanta or Advaita philosophy, oneness, one in all in one. Maybe in higher, in the experiential level, they all merge. But people whose minds are petty, argumentative, logic, they argue on all these things. Whether a dualistic philosophy is true, non-dualistic is true, cannot be settled within the mind because mind operates on pairs of opposites. They cannot be settled. But if you go to a certain level, these questions don't arise. Okay. Now, briefly go to the. I will just highlight some of the points. Why they call this illusion and reality? What is illusion and reality? They call sensory perception or common sense gives deceptive, faulty picture of reality on many occasions. As we know, what you see is not true if you investigate. What we perceive is not true if we investigate. Because we are not investigating sun. For example, you know this sun is rising and setting. Rising and setting in the horizon. Like many people who are not educated, many villagers or even animals, uh, what they think sun is rising, starting this horizon, setting in the horizon. But actually, it is not true. It's the Earth rotating around its axis. Sun, in a way, is stationary from this standpoint. Actually, Sun is also moving around the galactic center. That's a different thing. But from the standpoint of this, because of Earth rotation around the axis, so Sun is setting on the horizon, and Sun is not traveling. So the common sense is not true. Sense what is not true. The horizon meets the Earth at a distance. Puja, yes, that's the question. Okay.
Yeah.
What is the question?
Not question. If you feel you're too fast, could you please say?
Okay, okay. See, I have this problem. When I start talking, the momentum picks up. Okay, okay. Thank you for pointing out. I'll try to go a bit slow. Anyway, my slides will be available to you. All the PPT will be available to you, and my video also will be recorded. We will be giving it to all of you. You can download or we can send it to you. That will be there. Okay. Let me go a
Thank
little fast if I can. Anyway, it will take some time to cover, but it's good to go slow. Okay, I have already gone. Let me come to the second point. The horizon. See, if I look to the sky is touching the earth at the horizon, right? My sensors say this. If I go there, I will find that the earth is ending there because sky is touching there. But if I go to that place, the horizon will be shifted further. If I go there, it will be shifted further. So that is not true. But our common sense says that our senses says that that is a fact, but that's not a fact. Okay, one more example. Water reservoir in a desert, mirage. You know formation of a mirage, but due to the refraction of the light. All of you are from science, I suppose, science background. So what happens when, of course, at least you studied after 10th class, most of you. So what happens? What happens? The desert, the closer to the desert, Earth desert, it is more hot and it is gradually it is more cold upper ones. So when the light comes to get reflected, you can detail I cannot go in this talk, and you will find that due to the laws of reflection, and the sky appears to be to be reflected in the ground. So then when sky is reflected in the ground, what is the conclusion? There is a water reservoir, right? So some animals who are not intelligent, they go to drink water. There is no water. Even many unintelligent beings, the desert people, and who go there search for water. There is no water, but it appears as if water is there. Similar kind of things appears this illusion of our material reality because we have not investigated, we have not meditated, we have not made enough inward journey, and so Maya is very strong. So we are in wonders. Okay. Then one more example. that we are moving at tremendous speed in space, but unbelievable by common sense. Can you believe we are sitting here, all of us are here. Can you believe that we are running, we are moving thousands of kilometers per hour in space? Mind-boggling, right? But if you investigate, you find that we are, all of us are moving in the space, because we are moving, not only we are moving around the sun, the entire solar system is moving around the galactic center. Everything is moving at a very high speed, mind-boggling, but that is true. But our common sense doesn't say this. So similarly, you think you are a body because you have not investigated the truth. Okay. So the mind creates a limitation in you and a personality develops. Because you think that you are a body, so you come and I want this, I don't want that. Desire and aversion arises, and you develop a personality. You are a man or a woman, you are a rich man or a poor man, all the things. So you get entangled with it and suffer. It is just as simple. So this illusion, in all our Indian scriptures, Yoga Vasishtha and Vedanta philosophy, most of the Indian philosophies talks about the existence of illusion and to investigate. Even Ramana Mahasi, Mr. Maharaj, and how to come out of these things if you investigate. As Ashtavakra says, if you understand at this moment, your problems are solved operationally. You are in a state of operational, but you will forget, because mind has its own karma, mind has its desires and fears. So it will take you to various kinds of things to understand things. Huh? See, we do not want a simple solution. We want a complicated solution to the problems of life. See, most of us are not happy with a simple explanation of the world. We want a complicated explanation, because the mind can delight in, the ego will find a satisfaction to complicate matters. Okay, let me go to the next slide. Okay, next slide is one of the great sages in the modern time is called Nisargadatta Maharaj. He lived in Maharashtra. He has taught non-dual philosophy, very close to Ashtavakra's teaching. Actually, he was a fakir. He lived in a hut like a residence, very crude house, and all big religious professors and from America used to come and listen to him. He was such a great man, and he is a person who lived a humble life, but he taught profound wisdom. He is one of the greatest saints in the century. He talks about coming back to awareness of I am repeatedly. What is his teaching is very simple also. He said, come back to this awareness of I am. See, whether God exists or not, you can have doubt. But you cannot have doubt whether you exist or not. You exist. The moment you deny your existence, the more you affirm it. So that pure feeling, awareness is called I am. Not I am a man or a woman, rich or poor. The bare feeling of I am without any personality attached to it. Come back to it more and more, and it will work on your mind. What is the purpose of sadhana? To reduce the thought traffic, then to dissolve the mind. Right? That is the purpose of this sadhana. So this worked very much for him, and this is close to Ashtavakra's teaching. He met his guru at the age of 34, but at 37 he was realized, and he was a humble seller of this garment. Very humble man, studied until primary school, and all of you should read his book I Am That. Wonderful book of spirituality that became a classic international bestseller. And he did not write it, he simply answered the questions. The punching message he gave is unique in the history of spiritual teachings. Please read his book when you find time. And I have a great regard to this person who lived a simple life of a poor man, but he gave a profound teaching. That is why he said called Maharaja. He was Maharaja in his mind. He was a poor man in his body or in his material possessions, but he was a Maharaja. He is called Nisargadatta Maharaja. Great examples of these things. Okay, so that is another method you can adopt. You can come to the supreme state. 17. Okay, I'm coming here to Buddha's analysis, and I will answer the question raised by one person here, and I'll answer. So what is Buddhism? Buddha taught 4 noble truths: eightfold path to nirvana and dependent origination of causal processes. So 4 noble truths what Buddha says. So Buddha was a rationalist, and he avoided answering metaphysical questions. Many profound questions he simply didn't answer either yes or no. That is his unique way of teaching. He says they don't have spiritual merit. We waste our time in philosophical speculation without putting in practice. So, but the most number of books has been written on Buddhism in the world. I think probably next to Christianity. Christianity is dominated, next to come is Buddhism. But maybe they are in the same level. Most of the research has been done on Buddhist philosophy. So he taught life is essentially misery. If you have a mind to see, if you see the sufferings of multitudes, poverty, exploitations, and wars, earthquakes, suddenly people die, disease, corona. So life is misery. Bhagavad Gita says, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. These are the fourfold miseries of life. These are colossal suffering inherent in life. So, but he said, misery arises due to limited desires because of ego sense, and misery can be eliminated leading to nirvana. And there is a method, eightfold path to nirvana. I'll come swiftly. So human body, but he thought that human body is an aggregation of several parts. There is no ego entity. He rejected ego right from the beginning. Of course, he will realize at the state of realization. But everybody does things because of being fond of ego. I am so great. I am superior to others. This perpetuates evil in society, evil in the world, and it leads to wars. Wars starts up superiority complex. And the rich societies goes to work because those who have more wealth, they want to acquire more wealth and they go to war. Poor society in the history has never gone to war. Very rarely it is found. So there is no ego entity. So Nirvana can be correlated to Sachidananda. I'll come back to this a little later. Yes, he says there is a state of Nirvana, but if you try to correlate, so you'll find that Nirvana can be identified with Sachidananda. Of course, he did not say this, and this is neither self nor non-self. If I say something is self as an enduring entity, is again within the mind. But this is transcends the mind. He remains silent. He just gave nirvana. Nirvana is the most blessed state that one can think of in life. There is no state better than nirvana. And he said, if you follow this eightfold path, and then you practice samadhi, you will come to the ultimate reality that he says. So then let us start to. Okay, now I briefly go through this because out of 16 lectures, maybe 13, 12, 13, I will emphasize on body and how personality development through spiritual practice. 2, 3 will go on basic analysis of these things, basic philosophy and what is the nature of the body, nature of the mind, all these things. Because without that, you will not appreciate the spiritual journey. It is good to have an integrated approach to all these things. So that what is the eightfold path? He said right insight, right determination, right speech, conduct, livelihood, effort, remembrance, and samadhi. This samadhi is close to Patanjali samadhi. So this class I cannot go detail into all these things because to teach Buddhist philosophy will take itself one course in 16 hours. If you will be justice done to cover in great detail. Buddha was a great scientist in his time. He rejected metaphysics. He told people, you listen and verify. Don't accept what I am telling. Put into practice. Verify the result by yourself. And this the kind of things. So basically, what is right insight is the existence of misery in life. Life is painful because of finite desires and aversions and fears. And there is a determination to walk on the path. Speech, conduct, and livelihoods, like there are just done, and effort, remembrance, and samadhi. What is the remembrance? Remembrance is some sati means that is called mindfulness exercise. Mindfulness that we do nowadays all over the world, it's popular. I'll come to that point. Whenever you are walking, be aware you are walking. When you are sitting, be aware of your breath, going in, going out. Be aware of your sensations in the body. Be aware if you time, be aware of your heartbeat if you can. The idea is that be with the body, synchronize with the bodies and senses. Don't wander the body in the past, in the future, or don't allow the body to go thousands of miles away to some other place. Okay, that's the point of things. So dependent origination is basically 12 interlinked processes beginning with ignorance and ending with old age and death. He said from this arises that, that leads to that, that leads to that. So there are 12 causal processes. The, the fundamental thing is ignorance, avidya. From avidya, pratyaya, sanskara. Sanskara means discrimination. Sanskara, karma basically. It's not discrimination. It's a kind of it's a translation in English is not that easy, but that leads to volitional activities of the mind. That leads to contact senses, attachment, all these things. There are 12 processes, and living, ending with old age and death. And death doesn't end the life, as many modern scientists believe. Those that in Darwinian evolution, they think life has come by complicated interaction of metals. When the body dies, life ends. But that's not true. All Indian philosophy rejects this. Even Christian philosophy believe in one life. But when Jesus Christ was there, actually he came to Himalaya. He taught Indian philosophy. He taught reincarnation. But in 4th century AD, there was a new meeting was held in the Christian priests. They removed this reincarnation because it's not necessary. Or the some regions they were not able to understand it. So that was so now we don't have reincarnation there. Except that in all other schools of philosophy, it is very much there reincarnation. That's why Western society, many people cannot believe it. Buddha's teaching was scientific because cause creates effects. Effects become the cause of future effects. They become the cause of future effects. So there is a dependent organism pervading the entire universe, right? And that is the reason why you are the probably a scientist who says that entire universe is vibrating and the entire universe is interlinked because cause and effects you cannot separate. They are very intimately connected. Okay, then three observations of nature is made by the Buddha: absence of any ego, suffering, and impermanence of life. He viewed nature according to these three criteria. There is absence of ego, and there is existence suffering, and everything is changing. Life is transient. See, even in a cosmic scale, our living 60, 70 years is like a flash of lightning in the cosmic scale of millions of years. Even you go to states of higher consciousness, time moves very slow. But in this state of consciousness, in the earth plane, time moves fast, and this is basically a very small part of human life that we have with us. And here Buddha also taught that is Buddha didn't teach, Buddha remained silent, but Buddha did not write anything. Buddha's disciples write after 200, 300 years. If you read the scriptures of Buddhists, I've read some of them. It was in Pali, but translated into English. It's Moya Ebam Slupam. Thus have I heard. It starts with Thus have I heard. Then start all the sutras, Surangam Sutra, Diamond Sutra, and Lotus Sutra. So many sutras are there. There is a very good book on a Buddhist Bible. All of you study if you find time. Wonderful books on Buddhism. In English, it is in English, translated from Pali, but English language is very nice. So he says there is no soul, but in Buddhist there is reincarnation. Then what reincarnates? It is the mind that reincarnates. It is the mind. It is the sanskaras that actually you cannot see through the senses. But when you develop the spiritual eye, we'll come to that point later, what is the spiritual eye, you'll be able to see this. Many sense Paramahansa used to see this. I know a person and somewhere, he can know all those things. Even he can see the after death states. Person dies where he is, he can see. There are some people who have the power, but there are very few in the world. And many of them are living unknown lives in the Himalayan caves. They don't want to come to the world. But they are helping the world in many ways. Okay. So that is they are called. So transcendence of the causal process of dependent origination leads to nirvana. What is nirvana? Nirvana is a transcendence. Transcends to anything. Anything you can think of is not nirvana. Anything you can perceive, anything you can conceive, they are not in the domain of nirvana. Nirvana is just transcendence. It is just a timeless awareness. It's a solid reality you find in inner reality, which is all pervading, eternally existing. It gives you bliss. It's a pure consciousness. It is ever silent. Not the silent of the speech. It is the silent of the mind. By silencing the mind, you can reach that state. So that state can be correlated with Sachit Ananda, Brahman, infinite self, Tao, or Tripura. Tripura Rahasya, Dattatraya's book, Tripura Rahasya talks about it. So there are various names for this. The names do not matter. It is the state of your realization that matters. So nirvana is not clearly defined in Buddhist philosophy. He says it's undefinable. If you are able to define nirvana, it is not nirvana because it is within the mind. You are making a definition within the mind that transcends the mind. It defies a description within the mind, but you can experience this. And a person who experiences this, he will behave in a different way. Our Shastra also says a person who is an abadhuta, who is self-realized, how he behaves. Krishna also answers this question. So those symptoms, if you can find some people, but those people are very difficult to find. They are there, but they are very few. Because we are living in different cycles. It's a Kali Yuga is going to end. Kali Yuga, there are a lot of evils, destructions, a lot of pleasure-seeking tendencies, everything we have. But that's the reason why it is said our ancient Indians, ancient time, 5,000 years ago, civilized man lived. That time there was not much of technology, we don't know much, but despite our development in science and technology, we have more problems in the present life. So that is what the great man lived at that time. I'll go, I can't spend more time because I have to finish my course, my things, and all those things. So 722, okay. Patanjali Yoga Sutra. This is the picture of Patanjali. Patanjali was a great man. I one of the one of the greatest men lived in human history. His Patanjali Yoga Sutra is a super collection of knowledge and methods to enlightenment. He also wrote on Ayurveda, and he also he wrote on this. So Yoga Sutra illustrates nature of purpose of yoga, aiming to guiding individuals towards self-realization. The text begins with an introduction saying that its basic nature is yoga. Yoga is to remove the chitti-vritti nirodha, the fluctuations of consciousness. His consciousness definition is something different from what he said. Consciousness, chitta is again is a kind of a beyond the mind, but is within the phenomenal realms. It's not so, but absolute consciousness is beyond that. So chitta. So through that individualization of consciousness, mind thinks, and consciousness, individualized consciousness, fluctuations of consciousness, or aham, they are all part of the same larger part of the mind. Okay. So and he says the idea to experience inner stillness. The inner stillness is nirvana. If you can maintain the stillness state in 5 minutes, your entire life will change. Ramana Maharshi says if somebody meditates for 5 minutes, after a few years his whole life will change. But you can't really meditate for 5 minutes properly. To meditate for 5 minutes, you have to sit in one asana for more than 1 hour or 2 hours because mind will wander. That's why there is a called dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So the book outlines the 8 limbs of yoga known as Ashtanga Yoga, and he said there are 8 steps and to this path. What are those steps? First thing is ethical observations. If you are not leading an ethical life, you cannot be a yogi. If you are not leading a moral life, ethical life, and purity in your conduct, in your thought, you cannot. So he gives yamas and namas. We will see what are those things of you. Then physical postures, physical postures called asanas, because normally in a posture your spine should be erect. Your spine should not be first step in sadhana. The spine, the entire spine should be erect. That is the most important things in sadhana. Otherwise, your kundalini energy and lies, they will not go in the proper way. There are many other things are there. Okay, breath control, pranayama. What is prana? Breath control. Breath is prana. So we draw our energy through. Body gets energy through food, right? Through even sunlight also. But it gets more energy through breath also. Breathing, prana simply good. So pranayama is nothing. If you do pranayama, it will cure many other illnesses. We'll discuss this point later. So prana targets all body cells. And when you meditate, especially when your spiritual eye opens, the prana enters into your body in very, very high doses. I can show you some animation picture later. Very high doses prana enters to your body and activate the entire body. That's why all these people hardly have any disease. If they have any disease, it comes because of they take the karma of others by healing others generally or helping the universe. Because you cannot heal a sick person or a cancer person without taking his or her karma. That's why they suffer. Otherwise, they have not their own karma. So that is what is breath control. Then withdrawal of pratyahara. Like Gita says that it's like a tortoise withdraws all its senses towards itself. And you have to withdraw it, pratyahara. Actually, if you look at the creation, Ramana Maharshi somewhere says, like a spider brings out its web from itself, then again withdraws itself to it. Similarly, the mind on waking and put forth the entire universe, and on deep sleep, the mind again resolves the universe into itself. So mind is a wondrous power residing in the infinite self. Power of mind is many. If you control the mind, you have a tremendous amount of CGs. Getting rich or think they are nothing compared to the powers of the mind can have. But yourself is beyond the CGs. If you are attached to the CG, you develop your ego sense. You are far from enlightenment or far from supreme self or infinite self. So that is the thing that is pratyahara. So pratyahara is necessary. That means all senses and mind should go inward. That means one day you should sit and all senses, you should see they are inward, as if you are seeing nothing, as if you are hearing nothing, all those things. Okay, pratyahara. Concentration, dharana, dhyana, and state of deep absorption samadhi. Why dharana is different than dhyana in a way? So when you start concentrating, your mind will wander on various objects. So Patanjali says, whom you love most, you can put that figure in your mind, especially in my teaching, I say bring it to the kutastha, spiritual eye, in between the eyebrows, the sixth chakra, Agya chakra. That is what I am more interested to emphasize as a method for deeper spiritual progress. Okay, so now, so now the thing is that breath control, pranayama, pratyahara, and concentration. Okay, so mind wanders, doesn't matter. Bring it to the person you love. He can be third person, can be your spouse, can be your son, can be your parents, it can be your friends, it can be some object, it can be a ocean, anything. You stay the mind longer. When it matures, you take it to dhyana. Dhyana means focus on an object for longer time. In during the time of dhyana, you can bring your Parama Guru, your Guru, who has gone beyond the illusions, beyond attachments. Sadgurus, Buddha, Raman Mahasi, Sri Krishna, Mahavatar Babaji, there are many are there. You can bring it. The moment you think about them, you will receive their grace. It's a mystical thing, but that is true. If your faith is great, you receive the supreme, the divine grace will descend to you through that picture. If you have faith, and the picture will become light after some time. So that's the state of, and then samadhi. In the state of samadhi, in the state of samadhi, samadhi is not a description, the full absorption. There is no trace of the mind. There is only awareness. Awareness. Awareness you have to experience. That is a solid reality, and that is timeless awareness. There is no time because there is no mind. Time exists in the mind. Mind's movement in past and future creates the illusion of time. Raman Maharshi says there is no time, but there is only reality. Time is created by the mind to give it to functions different to give certain. It has its own purpose, but in the ultimate reality there is no time. There is only reality, one infinite reality. Okay, let me go ahead. I will not be okay. Then yama refers to moral. Yama and niyama. Yama refers to moral restraints that govern our behavior. Many people from yoga, people they may be knowing all these things. I will not go in detail. It requires non-violence. Not only non-violence in action, non-violence in speech. You should not criticize hurt others by speech. Even you should not think evil of others, even in thought also. That is non-violence. Non-violence is to, in thought, speech and action, you should not be violent to any creature, not only towards your enemy, even to animals also. So non-violence. Truthfulness, you should speak truth. Buddha says 3 things cannot be hidden forever. What are these 3 things? The sun, the moon, and the truth. Even if you are hiding truth, but one day it will be exposed. If not in this life, in some other life, because there is a karma attached to it. So truthfulness is very important step for moral purity to go there. Non-stealing. You should not take anything that do not belong to you. Earn money in the right way, and that is the thing. Celibacy, moderation. People who are married, they should lead a moderate conjugal life. Extreme indulgence should be avoided because that leads to the preservation of vital fluids that helps in spiritual growth. That should not be wasted away in simply, like mindless pleasures. Non-possessiveness. Possessiveness brings ego. Many people have half a dozen houses, a dozen cars, and various things. They are not needed. Nowadays, the minimization of life is growing for contentment. Socrates said a person's happiness is to remain content with the minimum requirements. Happiness doesn't come in wanting the maximum. So non-possessiveness is a virtue. Possess what is required. I have to sleep in one room. I have to eat certain food. unlike contented life, so non-possessiveness. Okay. Niyama refers to personal disciplines and that promotes self-awareness. These are 5 niyamas. What is niyama? Purity. Purity in thought, speech, and actions. Purity. And also one should clean the body, mind should be clean. Contentment. One should remain content what God has given to you. According to your prarabdha karma, you deserve a particular set of things. Particular circumstances you grow up. That is called contentment. You should remain content what you are actually. There is no destiny. I will speak about karma, free will, and destiny later. Destiny, what you call destiny or fate in your life, actually these are self-created karmas in previous lives. But these are for the karmas. Then okay, you should remain content because you deserve that. But God or destiny has given you austerity, austerity. All of you know, we should not, we should do. What is necessary and unnecessarily indulgence should be avoided in everything. Self-analysis, that is called journaling. Nowadays called journaling. If you create a spiritual diary, how much you are making progress, where you are moving away from truth or path, and how to rectify the mistakes tomorrow. That is called spiritual diary. When you maintain a spiritual diary, you will be able to cut down your mistakes and you will move quicker in spiritual evolution and surrender to higher power. Because most of the time we complain. See, he should not have died, should not be born in miseries. There is a war is going on, dust, storms, earthquakes. They are no one can understand the reality in action. No mind can understand. So that the Stoic philosophy says by Marcus Aurelius. You should read his book on meditations. He wrote he was a Roman Empire, and he was a philosopher and a Roman emperor. And he says the things beyond your control you should ignore. You should not brood over them. And you should surrender to them and go away with your life. This is called surrender to higher power. There is a certain things happen for a certain purpose which you do not understand. That's called surrender. Once you do that, you are prepared to do sadhana. Before that, your mind is not prepared to do sadhana. That is what he talks about on surrender. Okay, 21 now. Okay. His book called Yoga Sutra further explores various mystical powers, siddhis that may arise during the yogic journey, but cautions against getting attached to them. They are distraction from total. What do you do when you are moving towards inner journey? You have a higher consciousness, There are levels of consciousness. The more you are in the higher consciousness, the more power you have. Power, even you can materialize an object, you can materialize another body, you can know another mind, you can travel to another place by astral body, you can leave your body here, astral body can go to different parts of the universe. These are not far-fetched. I have seen some saints who has these powers. I do not to discuss those points in detail, but in this course, I will be talking about for ordinary people doing some spiritual practice, how you can transform your personality for a better life. These are very high order siddhis. Many people cannot reach because many people are in a ground state level of meditation, sadhana, or spiritual practice. So these are for high level of science. But what Patanjali says, they comes. But when you transcend all of them, don't be attached by ego that I have so much power. Then you are one with the divine self, the supreme self, and that is the state of Kaivalya in some other terminology, and the state of oneness, one in all and all in one. So the last part focuses on the state of absolute liberation called Kaivalya, emphasizing practitioners to realize the true nature as distinct from the mind and the material world. That is called Kaivalya. Kaivalya also cannot be defined. The state of oneness is a supreme freedom. Many of the saints are in that state. Actually the whole universe is their body. There is only one. They identify with that. So Patanjali's Yoga Sutra presents yoga as a systematic and disciplined approach to harmonizing the body, mind, and spirit. So for most people, spirit is absent. They live in the mental plane and they suffer because so many mental illnesses, and mental illnesses leads to physical illnesses. Stress or problems for the mind is translated into physical illnesses like cancer and many other things. People die prematurely, heart attack, all these things. So in this course, most of the things will be emphasized how to overcome these problems in a material level, in a worldly level, how to get more material success, worldly success by practicing meditations, going into a higher level of consciousness. But the spiritual goal is much higher. When you reach towards your goal, you have these high order siddhis, like materializing an extra body elsewhere. That means you are not this body. But you will experience death while living. You cannot die again because when you attain supreme consciousness, you are dead. You are double dead. Not only you are dead to the body, you are dead to the mind. They are seen as external objects. But those are very high order attainments that require things. You should do it seriously and sincerely, all those things. That is what we want to do at all the things. But I cannot go more deeply all these things because I have to finish my course for which I had given certain things. But it's a good idea to keep a spiritual success in mind in the background, though you can look for material success by spiritual practices. And when you have material success, you can go beyond. Okay. Now I will outline one more thing. I didn't want to do this, but it's a good idea to give you some picture of Yoga Vasishtha teaching. What is Yoga Vasishtha? Vasishtha taught to Lord Rama. When Lord Rama was only 15, 16 years old, he went on a pilgrimage. He, he saw intense suffering. So why the people repeat the same kind of exercise every day? You wake up from bed, go for earning money, eat, clean your body, and again go to sleep, again wake up, earn money. It's a routine process. So what is there? And there is so much disease and suffering. So he was in pensive mood. So then he was a advisor to King Dasaratha. So then here Yoga Vasishtha teaches the supreme knowledge to Lord Rama, and Rama's mind was ripe, and because he was really seeking. If you don't really seek knowledge, you will not assimilate knowledge. It will go in 1 year, go to another year, and you will do all the things. But mind should be ripe also to practice spiritual things. So he attained supreme knowledge. This thing. So he also speaks about the entire creation is imagination, like dream images from the standpoint of transcendent consciousness, Turiya state. And goal of life is to identify that state. All that is perceived are illusory in nature. Like as you discuss some illusory, common sense says they are true, but you investigate they are not true. So similarly, the mind looks very solid to me, right? I have a bones, I have a flesh, all the things. But if you meditate, find your mind is an ethereal body. Ethereal body. Mind is energy, vibrating energy. Mind is a series of light. There is an energy field that extends the mind. And there are various colors depending on your auras and all these things that can come when a spiritual eye opens. But the mind is a solid, that's your common sense, but that is not true. So, what the common sense says, these are illusory in nature. So, ego sense exists like a ghost existing in a child's imagination. So what you see is suffering, pain in life, those are unreal. Even there is a book called Conversations with God. You should read all of you that book. There are 3 volumes, most important, and other volumes are there. So that man hears a voice, he asks a question, and that God answers. Very logical question. So he also says the war that you see, the pain, suffering you see in life, actually they are unreal because you don't know this. So you are carried away and you suffer. You should ignore them and go for your spiritual goal. So what is a child's imagination? A child is crying in a dark room. But then the father comes, why are you crying? There is a ghost is there, it is going to kidnap me and eat me up, so I am crying. But he believes that is true because he is crying. But then the father brings a candle and says, in the room there are no ghosts. Then the child stops crying, realizes there is no ghost. So similarly, the ego sense exists in the imagination, like a ghost is existing in a child's imagination. There is no more than that. Ego creates so much problem in the world. The wars are created because of ego. But wars has different purpose in creation. We will come to that point later in terms of collective consciousness, world consciousness, other things. But so here, Yoga Vasishtha rightly eliminates ego. So people ask dozen of questions about unreality. Why the world is like this? What is that? Like science answer questions about the universe. But Yoga Vasishtha says, Rama, don't ask me about questions about unreality. Your primary question should be how to get out of unreality. It's like a house is on fire. So you should not ask the question of why the house caught fire. You want to go to the house and bring your favorite painting back, but you should run away from the house instead of carrying your luggage, but you will die. So when the entire world is burning, I forgot to tell you, Agni Upadesa Lord Buddha. Buddha says Agni Upadesa gives. Is called fire sermon. What is that? The entire universe is burning three fires: fires of lust, fires of anger, and fire of illusion. So your aim should be to get out from these fires. Not only the entire universe is burning, individual mind is also burning with these three fires. These are three principal fires. Everybody is roasted every day. So it is so terribly he painted the reality. Buddha is the person painted reality so terribly. Okay, so you should look for enlightenment. So invitation of ego can lead to its non-existence and liberation from samsara. If there is no ego in you, so you will be peaceful and all those things. And even if ego exists, you find there is a distance between the ego and you. Ego is nothing but the mind, right? Mind functions. So there is a distance. A distance will increase when you do sadhana. You can have it right now with faith and surrender if your mind is ready. That I told previously is called operational enlightenment. What is operational enlightenment? It says that if you understand, if you have faith on the teachings of the sage, the guru, and if you surrender to the teaching, surrender to everything that happens, you are free right now. And this is called operational freedom. The real things will happen when you put into practice. This is the kind of things that we do right now. How many of you are in presence? I have been speaking for an hour, more than little an hour. I am also tired of talking, and I would like to take some questions from you. So let me know. I mean, if you enjoy my talk, if you liked it, or if you have any questions, I'm going to answer next few minutes. But today I'm a bit tired. I like to stop it here and continue from tomorrow. Though I wanted some more slides are still there, 5, 6 more, but I will start from tomorrow. But I will very quickly bring you to the practical problems to transformation of personality. How to get all the success using spirituality. Okay. And so he has raised the hand. Okay. Let me see. What he says?
Sir Rajkeeper,
Tell
sir, where will we get those slides and any reference material about and the books also that you have mentioned during this discussion? Uh,
I have mentioned I can give you a reference because I have read so many books. I have read thousands of books, so it is there in my memory. I'll give you some important references. I can send you or I will put it in one of my slides later. Surely,
okay,
surely.
and these slides, where will I get these slides?
You will get it. These slides are your possession because you are a participant. The slides will be available to you. The video record will be available to you. Will you send it?
Okay, okay.
Will you certainly go? See, such a organized, thought, coherent teaching only a teacher can teach. You will not find from any one book.
Right.
Because I have read several thousands of books, the ideas are organized, and I am speaking wherever there is a necessity, all these things. So pay attention to the video talks, to the slides also, and you will read as many books as you can. No harm in reading books, but put into practice. Put into
Sure,
practice.
sir. Yeah.
So, these are the ultimate questions people have been asking for thousands of years, and solution to these questions will lead to a very high state of awareness, high state of exalted things, and all the things.
Sir, I had written a mail to you on your SVS email ID last night. If you get a chance, could you please check on that and respond to me, please?
Yeah, you wanted to get some of these PDF files, right?
No, not just that. I mean, even about the practicing in real life and how do we continue about that? Because, see, what I typically have faced in my life, the problem is you start with a few days, you get excited, and then gradually that interest and excitement dissipates over time
Yeah,
because you do
yes,
not get an immediate result.
yes,
Just to
yes,
go on
yes.
faith is quite difficult.
Put all these teachings, two, three things. First is understanding, second is faith, third is surrender, fourth is equanimity. Are getting the point? Put these four into practice. Maintain equanimity. If your mind is not in a negativity, accept it. Don't fight it. Equanimity, mind not. Then faith, have faith on the teachings because the teacher has said faith. Then what it is surrender. Surrender to everything. Surrender to negativity in you. Surrender to everything, all that happens to your life, and accept that there are don't forgive others or have any mistake. All the things surrender and love yourself. Self love is the best love. After that, you can love your teachings. Then, what did I say? One more understanding. Understanding. Just use your intelligence. What is real? What is unreal? And what is false? What is true? What is illusion? What is reality? And have this understanding. If you have this understanding, your problems are already solved in this class right now. Right now, take a resolution. Right now, I am operationally enlightened. I can sleep, my memory can sleep, my mind can go, but I will bring it back to my today's understanding. Take this vow, take this promise, keep a spiritual diary, and come back to this point as much as possible. And just come to the state of awareness, maintain equanimity, all that happens. And Patanjali has given some paths, yama, niyama, and all these things. Practice meditation. I'll teach some meditation practices in the coming classes. Several practices I'll teach you because the class is 1 hour duration. I would suggest all of you to do some practice from coming class onwards. I'll be teaching spiritual practices and you should practice at home and keep a spiritual journal, spiritual diary. And what you are doing. Otherwise, you will not make any progress. Okay. Any other question? Okay, it seems he is very satisfied with my with my talk. Good. I mean, if I'm able to take you some people to the path of supreme enlightenment, supreme self, my talk is worthy. I'm happy that some time was used helping another person. It is my duty to have. Actually, I'm not speaking. That the supreme reality is speaking through this body. I am convinced because there is no body. Anyway, it just happens like many things happens. There is power happens to help others. So we are here to help others. If you have any problem, you can come out to me. If some of you want to do serious meditation, probably I can put you in touch some persons, or we can discuss that part later. Start at the ground step level. And keep a resolution. Buddha says, right insight, right resolution. Take a resolution. From now on, you will walk on this path. Keep a spiritual diary, spiritual journal, and analyze yourself every day. Okay. Any other question? Hello, Mr. Venusami. You are my old friend. Everything went
Yes,
on?
sir. Namaste, ji.
Everything went on?
Namaste. Sir, class is going extremely well, and yeah, you are giving a lot of things. And main thing is we have to practice. That is our part that we have to do. Put it in practice. Slowly we are picking up, sir.
Okay. Please do all this because you are in my previous course, so I know you better. Because I gave a course on Ashtavakra Gita. There were 23 participants, and it went on quite well.
I love your class, sir. You are enlightening us, and in the spiritual path, we are getting in a fast track through you, progressing very well in the spiritual path. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and I said to you in my last course, that I have been meditating for 26 years now, and I have been studying thousands of books per day. But I want a certain level I can organize ideas and I can help others, and various things. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Hariar bhai, is it fine with today class?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So normally, and today I don't know, I got tired little early, but next time I'll go on little longer, and the questions can go on what it is. But I just gave a flavor of this thing. After 1 or 2 classes, I'll put more emphasis on practice and how you get worldly benefits, like law of attractions, expansion of intuitions, IQ, EQ, SQ, enhancement, and interpersonal. I will target more on worldly problems after 1 or 2 classes, and in addition to practice. And just follow my tips.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, Professor Narayan.
Yes.
So today I was not able to concentrate. I was busy in so many things. So yeah, lectures are very good, excellent. There is no complaint about that. Really, it's very, very excellent. There are very few knowledgeable in the world like you. We were fortunate to have you.
Okay, thank you so much. lot of effort has gone to this direction from me. I think I came to Indian Society to do PhD in theoretical physics, but within 2 years I could not find answer to my questions. I entered into Indian philosophy, spirituality from that time. So when I was 25 years old, very deeply, I used to read voraciously. Then after 10, 11 years, I got a grace from a Himalayan master. I was able to meditate. That changed a lot. So I am speaking many things on my experience also. They are not theoretical. You can make out. They are not simply book reading. So I'm here to help you. Any kind of help, you are always there in my WhatsApp, email, and you can reduce. We'll be in touch. We are all of us are one family now. We can move in the direction of supreme realization, supreme enlightenment, ultimate peace, ultimate happiness, freedom, all the words have been used for this. Okay. Okay. Okay, then if there are no more questions, shall we stop here? 7:52. We'll stop here, and tomorrow we'll continue at 6:30. And
Okay, sir.
and please excuse me. I apologize if I talk a little fast, but I start speaking slow. But then actually, when I speak to you, I close my eyes. It just flows. The flows continuously. I just close my eyes, and that time slightly momentum takes over. I will try to reduce again in the coming classes. I'll try to reduce as much as possible. All these things.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Okay then. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
sir. Dhanyavad.
Thank you all of you for your kind attention and patience for 1 hour, more than 1 hour class. And hope all my teachings will help you in the right directions. Okay. All the best. Well, I will stop here and we will meet tomorrow. Thank you once again
Okay,
for
sir.
your
Thank you, sir.
attention.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.